After 20 years of married life, Robert De Niro has confirmed some very sad news. More than 30 years after Robert De Niro first encountered Grace Hightower at a restaurant in London, rumors again swirled about the couple's relationship status. At the end of November 2018, the two-time Oscar winner spoke out and confirmed some of the whispers about his marriage. New York City native Robert De Niro made his first foray into acting as a 10-year-old. He played the Cowardly Lion in his school's version of The Wizard of Oz, and De Niro found it to be a great way to counter his natural shyness. From there, De Niro became greatly enamored with the world of movies, which likely spurred him to drop out of school at the age of 16 and study acting. 4 years later, he landed his first film role. In 1973 he first worked with director Martin Scorsese. It was a significant collaboration that would prove to be the first of many throughout De Niro's career. But De Niro's big break would come the following year, when he starred as the young Vito Corleone in The Godfather Part 2, directed by Francis Ford Coppola. The actor learned to speak a number of Sicilian dialects for the role, and delivered the majority of his lines in the language. For his monumental efforts to accurately portray the mob boss, De Niro was handsomely rewarded. He earned an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor in 1975. Next came a string of Scorsese-led films that led to even more acclaim for De Niro. In 1976, De Niro starred in Scorsese's Taxi Driver, portraying a Vietnam War veteran who begins to lose his mind behind the wheel of his cab. The role earned him an Oscar nomination and gave the world the signature line with which De Niro would be associated for the rest of his career, "You talkin' to me?" In 1980, De Niro headlined another Scorsese flick called Raging Bull, which told the tale of Italian-American boxer Jake LaMotta. De Niro learned to box and gained 60 pounds to accurately portray the fighter, and, once again, he received an Academy Award. This time it was the coveted Best Actor award he scooped in recognition of his incredible efforts and performance. Of course, these films reflect only the first few years of De Niro's career. By the mid-1980s, he feared he might have pigeonholed himself into mafia-related roles, so he branched out into other areas, including comedies and dramas. Needless to say, he found success there, too. For example, De Niro satirized his earlier roles by playing a gangster in need of therapy, from a psychiatrist portrayed by Billy Crystal, in the 1999 comedy Analyze This. The next year, De Niro starred as a tough-to-please dad in Meet the Parents, a hit flick that raked in more than $330 million worldwide. As of now, there's no way to define De Niro's career by a particular genre. He has starred in mob flicks, thrillers, comedies, crime epics, musicals and more. He has earned 7 Academy Award nominations, the most recent one for the 2013 movie, Silver Linings Playbook. For a large part of his career, De Niro has had one woman by his side. Grace Hightower hadn't climbed the ranks in Hollywood like De Niro had. Instead, she set her sights on traveling the world, and she happened to meet the actor in the process. Hightower had spent her life working odd jobs to support her family, who had little money. Eventually, though, she picked up a job as a flight attendant for Trans World Airlines, seeing it as an opportunity to explore places beyond her Mississippi hometown. Eventually, Hightower moved to Paris, then on to London. She held 2 jobs while living in the English capital. She was both a mutual fund trader and a restaurant employee. In 1987, she worked at a posh Chinese restaurant called Mr. Chow, and it was there that she met De Niro. At that point, of course, De Niro had already won 2 Oscars and had starred in a multitude of films. But Hightower admitted to journalist Katie Couric in 2013 that she had no idea who he was that night, until her coworkers let her know he was a famous actor. Although they flirted that night, serious sparks didn't fly between the pair right away, although De Niro did divorce Diane Abbott, his first wife and mother of his 2 children, the year after he met Hightower. Rather than embarking on a serious relationship with the Londoner, though, he began dating restaurateuse and model Toukie Smith instead. De Niro and Smith went on to have twin sons named Aaron and Julian, but their relationship didn't last. After their split, though, De Niro began a serious relationship with Hightower, and the duo got married 10 years after they had first met at Mr. Chow. Actors Joe Pesci and Harvey Keitel were among the 11 people invited to De Niro and Hightower's nuptials at the pair's home in Marbletown, New York. The guests showered the newlyweds with their best wishes. There were congratulations all around, a source told People magazine shortly after the wedding took place. Less than a year after their nuptials, De Niro and Hightower had more exciting news to share. They were expecting their first child together, their son, Elliot. But their bliss wouldn't last long, as De Niro filed for divorce from Hightower in August 1999, a mere 2 years after their wedding. According to People magazine, a friend of De Niro's had said of the split, Bobby was just not working hard enough at his marriage to Grace. The couple did, however, succeed in co-parenting their son until 2001, when they fell into a tough custody battle. At that time, Hightower had alleged that her partner had been unfaithful, and that he used narcotics and abused alcohol. De Niro denied her claims, while adding one of his own. He said his estranged wife had a fiery temper. Surprisingly, though, these harsh allegations didn't pit the couple against one another for good. Instead, rather than following through with their divorce, De Niro and Hightower renewed their wedding vows in 2004. This time, famous faces including Ben Stiller, Meryl Streep and Martin Scorsese looked on as they said, "I do." In fact, De Niro and Hightower brought in 2 judges to officiate the ceremony in which they redevoted their lives to one another. At the time, De Niro joked about the setup. "They can make sure this one sticks," he said. And it did seem as though, this time, De Niro and Hightower were on a better path. 7 years after their vows renewal, they had their second child together, with the aid of a surrogate. Their daughter Helen was born in 2011. 3 years later, De Niro told People magazine that he enjoyed the triumphs, and occasional tribulations, of fatherhood. "Sometimes you're the last person they want to deal with. It's like when you walk your kids to school and they get older and they don't want to hold your hand," he said. But having his youngest daughter, Helen, as well as children who had grown older and presumably more appreciative of him again, motivated De Niro to say, "It's good stuff now." In fact, De Niro also said he hoped all of his children would stay in New York City and live nearby. Aside from moments of vulnerability like the aforementioned conversations about his children, De Niro, and Hightower, for that matter, kept most of the details of their relationship private. Eventually, though, came a rumor they couldn't ignore. De Niro and Hightower attended the 72nd Annual Tony Awards together, a ceremony that took place on June 10, 2018. After that, the pair weren't spotted in public together, even though De Niro continued attending public events he'd normally attend with his wife. According to celebrity news website Page 6, in November 2018 someone close to De Niro and Hightower revealed, they are not living together at this time. Another person added, De Niro and Grace are breaking up. He's been at a few things since the very end of the summer without her, and rumor has it they are done. The gossip about De Niro and Hightower's separation continued to circulate in tabloids and celebrity news magazines. So, 1 week after Page 6 published the unconfirmed news, the 2-time Oscar winner released a response to the rumors. De Niro, who typically kept mum about his life behind the cameras, confirmed the rumors about his and Hightower's separation. In a statement to CNN, he began by saying, "Grace and I have 2 beautiful children together." De Niro then revealed, "We are entering a period of transition in our relationship which is a difficult but constructive process." He concluded by lauding Hightower's role in the lives of their children, and making a request of the public who heard the family's news. "I honor Grace as a wonderful mother and ask for privacy and respect from all as we proceed to develop our roles as partners in parenting," De Niro wrote. Although the actor offered no explanation as to why the couple's relationship was ending, some theories developed after the news broke. Some fans assumed the split happened because the couple had opposing political opinions. According to website Sputnik News, Hightower was a supporter of President Donald Trump, while De Niro regularly disagreed with the commander-in-chief's actions. Alternatively, a source told Life and Style magazine that the source of discord between De Niro and Hightower was finance. The unknown insider claimed, "She was spending his money like there was an endless supply. Bobby's definitely made some movies just to pay the bills." The same source opined that a separation would cost money up front, but De Niro would improve his financial standing eventually. "It might cost him a pretty penny now, but a divorce may actually leave Bobby with a retirement fund," they concluded. However, Hightower reportedly has financial stability thanks to artistic and entrepreneurial ventures of her own. For one, Hightower had small acting roles in critically acclaimed movies, including Precious and The Paperboy. Hightower also helms her own nonprofit organization, which sources environmentally friendly, fair trade coffee from Rwanda. Reportedly, all of her efforts have armed her with a $16 million net worth, separate from her husband's money. De Niro's bank account does have quite a bit more padding than his estranged wife's. He is reportedly worth $300 million. After all, he has his film career, as well as real estate investments and business ventures, including the Tribeca Film Studios and Festival, restaurants Nobu and Tribeca Grill, and the Greenwich Hotel. Perhaps De Niro's financial assets take some credence from the rumor that Hightower's spending pushed him away. In fact, according to page 6, Hightower was blindsided by the separation. As of a few weeks ago, everything seemed fine, the source added. Considering how private De Niro and Hightower have always been, it seems unlikely the public will get an explanation as to exactly why they're separating. Without any formal objections to the proceedings, the former couple could have a divorce in New York State in as little as 6 weeks. Share and subscribe Star News 24/24's channel. Thank you for watching video.